Hello, everybody. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. The stream did not want to work. For whatever reason, it abruptly shut down on me. So I don't know what was going on, guys. So sorry about that, guys. The stream just. So hello to the things. Hi, guys. I did a stream for like 5-7 minutes, and then all of a sudden it was like boom, 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 boom. I don't know what was wrong because there was a stream where I had colored this. It's like only like a 5-minute, 7-minute stream, so I don't know what's going on there. But we were coloring. Today we are coloring from Mermaids, Jade's Grayscale coloring book. I don't know. It was weird because there was nobody in that stream. All of a sudden, I had technical difficulties, and it bounced me off for whatever reason. And there was like the picture was clear and everything, but sometimes you just go boom, 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 boom. And Michelle, I'm so happy you got the book. I'm so glad it arrived. So today I'm not doing Kirby today, but I don't really feel like sometimes I gotta feel the picture to know that I'm gonna do a good job to color it. So glad you like it. So I'm coloring the Grayscale picture today for the Mermaids. Now I have the line art book for this, but I honest to God must say that I like the Grayscale version better. I've done quite a few pictures in this book already. So it's funny because I thought at first there was something wrong with the stream. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't get all her hair in the front here. I'm just going to put up right there. I like purple haired mermaids. I just think they're fun to do. So, and tails don't have to be green. They could be a different color too. So keep that in mind. This is red. Hello to all our friends. These are Winsor and Newton Pro markers. Hi, Shell. Hello, everybody. Oh, that's a lovely gift. Flora is a lovely book, but actually, if some of you saw the last stream, I actually showed off one new book I got. I got one new coloring book, and I got two on the way, but they won't be here till at least Saturday night from the tracking. So they're not going to get here in time for Saturday stream, but we got a new book. Yes, I got the new Alice in Wonderland book. Now, those who know me know that I love Alice in Wonderland. Know that I love Alice in Wonderland. Now, guys, if you want, I could either do curbing tomorrow or I could do a picture from Alice in Wonderland. I haven't even done a flip through in this book. And I've been kind of breaking my rule when I get a book now that I color in it. The old rule was when I got a book, I would actually do a flip through before I colored in it. So I haven't been doing that lately with some of the books. Yes, I got Alice in Wonderland. These are some of the images in it. If you want to see Cheshire. If you want, we could always color a picture in this later in the month. You know, I do all my flip throughs downstairs in the kitchen table. This is just some of the pictures. I just like things like this, the circle ones. Hello. This is the Alice in Wonderland book that I'm showing right now. I got the Alice in Wonderland book. I don't know why this is not. There we go. Alice doesn't have to be blonde haired either, you know, she could be a brunette. So I just want you guys to see. Just showing you the one new book I got this week. So that was the one new book I got this week. Been busy organizing the comics a little bit more. So what I've been doing is sometimes I'll take a big pile from the closet and then break it down into smaller piles so I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed. You ever get that feeling like you sometimes feel like you're so overwhelmed? I don't see the color in this time, but I know what color that I want. Somebody's going, oh no, she's not bringing out what I think she's bringing out. Salmon pink. Yep. This is a cold day, ladies and gentlemen. Why will you? I hate when people mess with my stuff. And I told my mother, if my brother comes up to my room and I find anything missing in May from the comic books, I will know that my mother let my brother up here against my wishes. I don't like anybody coming into my personal space. I just have this thing where I don't like people coming into my space that I don't know. I'll tell you that right now. I don't like anybody coming into my space that I don't know. Hi, Gary. How are you? It's like, you know, I feel like it's a violation if someone does that to me. And this is Sugared Almond Pink, which is one of my favorite pinks in the whole. Don't mess with my color and stuff. Don't mess with my books. You know, there's certain things that you just don't like people messing with. And I think that's with a lot of people. That's not to say that it isn't, you know, a paranoia issue for me as much as it is a. This is raspberry. You'll learn today that we are going to use a whole lot of pinks and purples today. Sorry, guys. I drank some, this morning I had pumpkin spice latte. Now, I only have it once a week because I know that it's very fattening for me. See, you like me. You don't like when people move your stuff. Because I know where things are and I have to keep them organized, especially considering that, now that I'm also, going through the comic books, getting them organized. So now I have the comic books in addition to the coloring stuff that I have to keep organized. So it's not like I'm just doing stuff. Well, here's the thing, Michelle. It was both me and my brother's collection. Now, my brother has said and done things that really offend me, but I try not to take it personally because he believes that I'm out to rob him, and that could not be the truth, farther from the truth. That's me to a degree too, and then I sometimes will accuse my mother, did you move this from this table? Where did you put it? Because it was right here when I left it, and she claims I never touched any of your stuff. If I did, it's somewhere on your bed. So, and these are Copic sketches that I'm using, so. Now, some people will say, oh, look at her using her Copics wrong. Hey, Shannon. I will use my markers how I see fit. It was my money, and I will spend them how I like to spend them. Hi, Robin. I haven't even had time to sit down and read The Witcher, The Last Witch. I've actually read, I think, maybe 30 pages of the book, and that was because I was in the subway, and it was, the subway got stuck for a while, so I was stuck in the subway this week a lot. So I managed to read like about another 30 pages of The Last Witch. But, I've been so busy with, real life stuff. What would I like to call this now? Let's see. I do need to get her blue eyes. So, we'll use smoky blue. This is smoky blue. Right there. Some Copics I have a sketch and some that I have that are the traditional ones. Hold on, guys. I need a white pencil. Wow, Marvin, you're like a reading machine. You're like that mean reading machine. I used to be like you, and then real life came along. Once upon a time, I used to before the emailed activities. So, I sent out. If you're still waiting, guys. Also, if you're still waiting for a package, I sent out the last 3 books today, along with another box that I sent my brother. So he shall be happy for a while. I'm trying to send him as much stuff as I can. So he will be happy for a while. Now comes skin tone. We're gonna do floral white, pale fruit pink, cotton pearl, and then barely beige. Here's white. I love this white. This is like the only set that has the Copic is the only set that I've ever seen that has white markers. I've been just busy. And then this is pale fruit pink. So you have to understand when you're doing this. This is floral white again. On this paper, it seems like on the Create Space paper or the Jade Summer paper in particular, that markers get soaked up really fast on this. Soaks up, it absorbs your marker like incredibly fast. Depends on the person. Honest to God, Pat, I really have started to like Grayscale. The more I do Grayscale, the more I like it. To tell you the truth. Now we're gonna put in the pale fruit pink. Now this you can use as a skin tone. They don't tell you that, but this is a nice complementary skin tone. What I like about Grayscale, Pat, is that it does all the work for you. When I started doing Grayscale, I was not doing it correctly because for me, Grayscale was horrifying for me. But I have come to really like it, and I've watched more videos on it. And now that I know more about coloring and how to work it, to me, it's just really fun to do it. Grayscale's not that, it's not that scary once you learn it. Cotton pearl. Remember, it's only dark in the beginning. Then when it lightens up, watch. When you start to lighten it up, it looks different. If it's too dark, I can always add a pencil to it. Why is it not drying fast? But you see, as it starts to dry, I just want to show you the drying process. As it starts to dry, it looks different. So our skin looks different as it dries. It's just dark in the beginning because the background is black. And the person to go to for Copics really is Belinda. If you have questions about Copics, because she's the master of Copics. She's actually certified in how to use them. I may not have to add the other color now. I'm thinking I might stop here at the combo. I just love how she can make so many different combos with her Copics. I'm nowhere near the level of Belinda. I think her skin tone is fine now. But you see, as it dries, it changes, the color changes. So I want you guys to be aware that colors just pop when you're using different markers are going to work differently. So keep that in mind too. It's gray. I don't have enough grays in this set because I didn't buy enough grays in my Copics. Believe it or not, I don't have a whole lot of grays, but I may have a whole lot of grays in the other set. Thank you. Now, this is a Cali art. See, when I do coloring, I use all my material because I may not have certain colors in my Copic. So, wow, guys, thank you a lot for that. So, here is the warm gray 5. And also, when I try to buy Copics, I also try to buy refills if I'm in the store, because I'm not going to buy Copic without having a refill of it. Hold on, I see something I want to do. And this is Jade Green. Mm-hmm. So, no, this rock is coming out awfully dark looking, but that's okay. We can always fix it. We can always lighten it with a white pencil. Someone asked me what works best on Create Space paper, and to tell you the truth, what works really the best on Create Space paper, and I wouldn't advertise this, but for me personally, what works best for Create Space paper and paper like this is actually, believe it or not, markers. Markers really work well. Expensive, budget. Swordfish sharpener, Miss Kim. It sharpens every type of pencil I own. These are like about $13. They're hand cranked, but they're the best sharpeners that I have ever found for every pencil. I've not tried sharpening my Crayolas, but you know what? Maybe we should try that. And I have to find where the Crayolas are. I believe they're in a purple case. Yeah, those are the June gold. Miss Kim wants to see what sharpens a Crayola up. Worry, we will pick those up off the floor. I believe they're in a purple case. I remember this by color. These might be there. No, those are the pillows. That's those. Here it is. Black Widows. June gold. June gold. These. Amazon Basics. Clicks. All in the search of Crayolas. I do not know where my Crayolas were. Kim, I cannot find my Crayolas. To tell you the truth, I think I might have put them away in one of the storage cases. Believe it or not. I think I put them away in the storage container, which is over there somewhere. Sorry, Kim. But I recommend, Kim, the swordfish sharpener because it's been the best investment of my money that I ever bought a sharpener. Now, to tell you the truth, guys, I don't really like my Amazon pencils that much. It's not that they're not good. They're just, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with these, Miss Kim, but I might give these away at some point to somebody who really wants them because they're just taking up space that could be used for something else. I'm starting to do what's called a purge and see what I really need, what I don't need. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of them at all. I've had trouble using them, actually, believe it or not. They don't work in all my books. So. That's not to say they're not a good pencil. It's just hard for me to use them. But I tell you, Kim, these work on everything. Small pencils, little pencils. I mean, if you think about what's closest artist grade wise to a Crayola, look at this. Now, this is my Prism of Dark Brown pencil. But Kim wants to see how well this sharpens, so I'll show you. Take this out. Put this in there like this. And look how pretty it sharpens. Kim. You want a good sharpener? This is the best sharpener that I've ever had. So, think about that. It's only about $13. But I use that as an example of what you could do with the sharpeners. I can find where I got it from. So, think about that, Kim. You know, different people are going to sharpen differently. So, that's what you need is a nice hand crank one. Don't get yourself an electric one, get yourself a hand crank. They sharpen better. No offense, there's some electrics that I like, and then there's some electrics that I don't like. So now we're back to coloring this picture, and again, well, think about it like this. You know what? Maybe I have a Crayola. Guys, I'll be back. I'll just have to get the, maybe I do have a set of Crayolas somewhere in the boxes. Hold on, guys. I may have a set of open Crayolas somewhere. I'm thinking I wanted the Crayolas. Like 50 Crayolas. Found the Crayolas. Kim. Miss Kim, I found the Crayolas. So I found the Crayolas. Yep. So let's do a pencil that is So here is the Crayolas. This is my Crayola 100. So this is Granny Smith apple. Let's see how these sharpen on the Crayolas. Put the pencil in. And it didn't break the core at all. Look at that. Miss Kim, it didn't break the core at all. I think we found you a sharpener for Crayolas. So you can have a. I don't know what color all my cases are because I try to make each pencil set have a different color so I will know how to find it. So let's try another one that's badly. Just to give this a second thing. So then the way you use this is you take it out, right? Put it like this. Then put the pencil in like this. Hold this like this, right? And then you crank it with this. Oh, what did I just do? This is what happens when you go do weird things. Oh no. That's how do you want? Then voila, Kim. I think we found a sharpener for Miss Kim. I think we found a sharpener that does it all. And we can thank Miss Sammy for this. Really, guys, we need to thank Miss Sammy for introducing this sharpener. So we tested it on 2 Crayolas, just so. I will make the other ones as dark as this. I'm going to use a lighter gray. Robin, link please for Miss Kim. Swordfish sharpener. Hold on, let me get the affiliate link. Let me get the link. So you can. Just trying to get it. It's called a swordfish sharpener. They come in different varieties, but this is one of my favorites. That does it all. It does luminance pencils. It does prismas. It does Crayolas, as we found out. It does everything but pastel pencils. For whatever reason, this thing does not like pastel pencils, but everything else it likes. I am typing in the name of the thing. I am posting the link. No, there's another one for $9 now. It's gone down, the one that I have. It's $9, the one that I have now. There you go, Kim. This one is $9. I found one for $9. Before we have that. If you go through the link, they have one that's a cheaper one of this. It's called an icon. Swordfish icon is cheaper and it's $9. Let me see what happens when you click on the link in the meantime. Really? It's $20. That's interesting. But that's not bad because you have to think about that. Because you know what it is? It may be pricey. This is a little pricey, but here's the thing you gotta realize. If you're a big colorist like I am and you color, think about this in terms of value, what you're getting for your value. Because you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. So, think about that in long terms. So here's pink. This is cerise, is the name of this color. And this is a calia. Because when I did the link, it came up as $9, but when I went on the actual link, it said $20. So I don't know if that's something with the price gouging or if they're just doing something weird. It does, and it's easy to fix it if it gets stuck, and you can fix it. And plus, guys, the blades are replaceable. If you need to buy replacement blades, you can buy replacement blades for this. So keep that in mind when you're buying sharpeners. See if they have replacement blades. And this has worked on every pencil brand I own almost. Every single one except the Stabilos. But that's because those are pastel pencils. So this is Orchard. This is the Winsor Newton. I plan on actually, when my pianos are done, I plan on buying more of the Pro markers. I'm actually thinking about buying all of the Pro markers, keep the set I have, and then add on to the replacement place. So, no, this is not a Caliot. This is a piano. My mistake. They look alike. I'll tell you something right now. Most of my Zongis, gone, dried up. So anything with my small meaning markers. But you see how different everything is looking once it dries? Also, guys, I do have a blotter page down if you guys are curious, so don't feel too bad. And that was, I used markers in my mandala book because I was doing a mandala the other day with markers that I haven't posted yet. So I'm not coloring as much as I did last month, and I think that's because I'm really determined to get the comics books done. Another piece of advice is wait for sales to come along too, because sometimes also don't forget, guys, they have lightning deals. So sometimes you can get sharpeners and other things on lightning deals. So sometimes just be patient. Now, one day I bought what was it? I think was it Artisan markers or something. And I bought it, and then the next day they had it on lightning deal, like for $20 less. If I had waited a day, I would have gotten the thing for $20 less. It's like so frustrating because you never know when they're gonna do those lightning deals. So sometimes those things happen, and there's nothing you can do to control it. But you see how dark these things were when I started, and now how light they are? And you know, good alcohol markers will smell like alcohol when you use them or refill them. If they don't smell really alcoholic, then they're not as good as, it doesn't mean they're not as good. It just means that they may not be alcohol markers. They may be something else instead. So keep that in mind too. Now I'm going to do a green. I love the greens in the Copics. The greens in the Copics are like my favorite greens ever. And this color is apple green. I just love this. My favorite blues are also my favorite. For whatever reason, I really love the colors that are in the Copics. Barnes and Noble says Copics for $1.99. What colors? I haven't seen that yet, so I have to look at that and see if they're genuine Copics or not. Because I've been spending like about, every time I buy a Copic, it's like about 5 something for me, about $5.43. And then I do this with this. So I'm gonna probably have to go to Barnes and Noble and try and get some. Or are they just online? Are they online or are they in the store? So here's Cool Gray. But you see, I go to the Blick store instead because it's easier for me to know that I'm buying an artist quality. This is Cool Gray, #1. I'm glad you're feeling better, Rosemary. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. See, buying a good pencil sharpener is like, and I've bought a lot of different pencil sharpeners over the years. The M&Rs, the Faber-Castell. I used to have a Prisma when I started, and then I used to have a Staedtler. When I first started coloring, I had the Prismas, and that was a terrible sharpener, because they kept breaking the cores. Then I've had the Tegals. The Tegals are still a good pencil sharpener, but they work for thinner pencils, Tegals. And here's the problem too. If you go to the thicker pencils like a Luminance or a Poly, they're going to work different in a different sharpener because some pencils are meant. But there's a danger to buying art supplies cheap if you don't buy them in the art stores, because sometimes they don't. You just have to be careful where you're buying your supplies. Even though Barnes and Noble is a reputable store, they're not known for art supplies. Keep that in mind. So, I am looking at the colors. I definitely want to do aqua. We're definitely going to do aqua. But I want a color that's going to not be too dark. And Tahitian blue. That's what we'll do. We'll do those two colors. So, you know. Aqua. Oh no, this isn't tied up. And I don't think I have that. Hold on, guys. I gotta see what I have in refills. If I don't have that in a refill, I have to use another color. But there's my purple case. Purple. If I don't have that color, then I have to use another color. Aqua. Yes, I have that. Yay! I have it in a refill. Do I have Tahitian blue in a refill? Yes, I have Tahitian blue in a refill. These are Copic refills, people. This is what they look like. And it's essential when you use Copics that you buy the refills because this makes the marker. And I'm going to be the first person to tell you this. This makes the marker a lot less. Yeah, I always refill it on the top. That's the chisel. Because the chisel's the easier tip to most times. Okay, I'm having a hard time today. For whatever reason, I can't get the chisel up. And I don't like doing the drip. And I don't like doing the drip method. Because the drip method is what we call messier to do. So, you can see I've never had to refill this color until now. I've never had to refill this. Also, guys, when you're using your Copics, I recommend having baby wipes at hand or hand wipes. So, you have to have refill. So, take out the refill. Refill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15 drops was what I was told. Some people put in 20. That's that. Now, I'm going to tell you something about cleanliness. This is really important that you keep everything clean when you're doing your Copics. Because I like to keep everything clean and neat. And I even like to wash off the tip of the marker. Just wet it a little bit. Well, there's the drip method, which Jaza does. Then you do this. And then you shake it. You have to shake the marker after you refill it. It's not as well known as the drip method. Now, half the time people are going to tell you use the drip method. So keep that in mind. A lot of people use the drip method instead, where you drip the ink onto the marker. I'm more of a, now we can do that again. So let's see. This color's not coming out. Now, I may have to drip this. I may have to do it again. Now, here's what you do when you're doing the drip method. Now, this is the drip method. This is meant to just Well, this is just to wet it a little bit. So people do that method too, Michelle. Pat, see what I just did? I did that. And a lot of people do this with their markers to re-drip it. But I have a tissue here to absorb anything that I don't do. Just to get it wet. Yeah, I'm going to put it back on. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. Sometimes the drip needs to do that. So keep that in mind. So now it's nice and juicy again. See, because we're live, I can do a few little tricks. I'm not as, I'm not as good as Belinda is. But I picked up tricks here and there. And then I share them with you guys too. And I actually learned how to do both methods because I watched a lot of people doing the drip method, and I also learned, I also watched a lot of people doing the method that I use. Hey Victoria, how are you? We're coloring today Jade Summers Mermaids Grayscale. No Kirby today because I'm just not in the mood to do it, and I have to be in the mood to do Kirby's pictures. So. I do like it some. Oh, so you use the little hack that Anne uses, which is if you know like your Copic color, if you know your Cali art colors and you know the Copic art equivalent to them, you can just buy the Copic art refills and then refill them. But there's a danger to that because you have to be exact on that. So keep that in mind that that's not an exact science. I'm always going to give you an honest reaction because now they'll tell you, some experts will tell you, oh, you shouldn't use your Copics on CreateSpace paper. You should use them only on expensive paper. I don't feel like I bought them, therefore I will use them how I see fit. Someone asked me what I like better, brush tips or chisel and nib, and I'll tell you the truth, I like it all. Different markers are going to work differently on different paper. So keep that in mind too. How do you leave no streaks? Well, there's a couple of ways. It's one, practice. To me, I think Copics and Cali Arts are the best money value out there besides the Dick Blitz and the Winsor and Newton. Winsor and Newton markers are really, really good. You know, the Copics are still my favorite. Budget friendly wise, Cali Arts. Because you get a lot of bang for your buck. So keep that in mind too. So. You know, and when you snap, you want your markers to snap because then you know they're nice and secure. I love Copics. To tell you the truth, Kim, I love the way they work, and you can buy replacement parts too. Like you can buy these, which are nibs. These are the brush nibs, so you can buy the replacement nib too for them if the nibs are no good anymore. So keep that in mind. These are the things that you can do with your nibs. If I picked the wrong color to go with this, but it's okay. Remember, we got the whole background still to do of this picture, the sky. I've not had, since I bought these a few months ago, I've not had to replace the nib, so keep that in mind. I recently had to replace a nib for a Dick Blick marker, so, and that was after a year of having them. For me, the best place to get art supplies has always been either Amazon or dickblick.com. But I live in the States, so some people do not live in the States, so they have to go to things like Jackson's, Jet Pen. So keeping that in mind, to me, if I'm buying Copics, I prefer to buy them at the art store because at least I know they're good. So And for me, my first Copics, if anybody remembers, it was a Mardell Rubio picture. I had just gotten a sketch box. It was around Halloween time, so I haven't had these yet for a year. The Copics, so I haven't had need to replace the nib yet, Pat. They probably would. They probably would. I haven't yet had to do it, so I don't know, but they probably could. But the person who knows the most about Cali arts is Anne, which is our marker queen. The queen of Copics is Belinda. In that shape, you're just budget-minded. I would say you are a budget-minded colorist. And I think people forget that there's nothing wrong with being a budget-minded colorist. I'm the first person who thinks that being budget-minded is nothing wrong. Yeah, here's the thing with that. Sometimes you know, and I'm the first person to say I love budget-friendly markers too, but I just sometimes find that if I'm doing this based on quality, I would prefer to work with. I'm looking for an orange that I like. Now, this is a new color in my collection, and it's called Spring Orange. But sometimes it's nice to splurge on things. So, this is a Spring Orange. I saw someone, like not Belinda, but I saw someone else use this as a skin tone in one of their pictures, and it was just an amazing picture that they did. And the thing I like about this month is that I get to do the things that I really, really like to do. Oh, guys, November is going to be Hannah Lynn. November Hannah. Hannah November is what we have for November, which means it will be Hannah Lynn, Hannah Carlson, any artist named Hannah. So I'm going to put Hannah Carlson in that list. So I changed the color along a little bit. So that's, oh no, 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 Buffy, go away. We don't need Buffy. What is the cashmere? I forgot what the cashmere looks like. Hold on, what's the cashmere look like? Guys, don't mind me if I just want to know what the cashmere looks like. Oh, that's too light. Oh, that's so light. It's too light. Sometimes I'll use these little things as testers. It's too light of a color. I do know that I want to use yellow. That's a good color. The sky. That's the sky. But now we need to pick a color for the... I might have to do a dark orange. This is how you test colors. You use a little pad. So good. We figured out a color combo. Just use these sometimes for little testers. These are nice little things to just use for testers. So we know now what this is going to be the cloud and this is going to be the sky. This is YR15. This is pumpkin yellow. Yeah, the Copics have really interesting color names. Some of you might have figured out that I really, really like this book. That I really, really love Mermaids. Now, some people might argue with me and say, no, this is not the best Jade Summer book. Some of my people might say Vampires is the best Grayscale book. But I say it all depends on what you like. A nice thing about this is when I'm done with this book, I get to play with this page again because they gave me 2 copies of each page. So I get to do this again. I think I might have done this picture in the regular lineup, but I'm not 100% sure. So because everybody has different tastes, you know, I like different things than somebody else. So. November is going to be Hannah November. So basically, it will be Hannah Carlson and Hannah Lynn. I have changed it to Hannah November. So that'll be a fun thing. I'm Creative Haven. Next year, I'm only doing 2 color alongs next year, I will do Creative Haven again for August, and I will be doing Magical September. So those are locked in stone, no matter what. So I think doing 2 color alongs will make it a lot more fun, and then you know I can participate in other people's events. You know, because doing a color along is a lot of time and commitment, and I want to be a little bit more free and do things I enjoy. I enjoy doing Magical September. Well, that should be fun. I always like going to Shalene's. Shalene always has fun things. And then we can do that. Thank you, Kim. I just really like it. Wow, guys, there's 17 of you. Thank you guys so much for coming. There's another stream that was only 7 minutes, but I had problems, so. But remember, we did this with a lot of different markers. We did this with Pianos, Cali Arts, Copics. So keep that in mind that we did this with a couple of different brands too, not just Copics. And some Winsor & Newton too. The hair is Winsor & Newton. See, but I like to make sure, even though I'm using them, that when I use them, that they get. I know, right? The thing is, I get my Pianos and my Cali Arts mixed up sometimes, Robin, because they look so similar. The barrel looks similar. Mm-hmm. But you see, this is the difference between markers and pencils. You can get, with markers, you have to go fast to stop them from streaking. Otherwise, then you have to use pencils to fix the streaks. I really like these little pink flowers. So. I also tell people, when you go and use any brand of pencil or marker, buy a small set so you don't break the bank if you just want to try them. Also, guys, don't be afraid to ask the art store people, like in Blix, they let you buy the supplies before you buy them. So that way, if you can understand how to use them too. That's one thing that I like about Blix more than I like about other art stores that I've been in. They give you a chance to try the supplies. So that's one way that I think Dick Blick is superior to a lot of stores. Like, if I go into a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby, they don't let me try the stuff. So. I really like this. I was gonna do Kirby at first, but then I was like, that picture isn't speaking to me, and it has to speak to me. We'll get back to doing Kirby, but I have to feel the picture, and I want it to be an enjoyable experience. Coloring should be a happy experience. I was told one time, if you're not enjoying it, it shows. You should enjoy what you do. I messed up the hair. I got some orange on the hair, but that's okay. You say it's a highlight. But you see how different everything looks with Marcus? It's like night and day when they dry. Because they come out so dark when you first put them on. And then when you see them dry, like a totally different experience. I have a funny feeling that this will probably be the first Jade Summer book I finish. It might not be. I might have other books farther along, but. And also, guys, the Jade Summer has an amazing catalog of books. There's a humongous catalog of books there. So, you know, when we look at pictures, sometimes we see something and then we're like, oh, that was something different. You know, sometimes I'll do a picture a certain way and then I'll see somebody else do the same picture in a totally different way. I actually, funny thing, Robin, in the last stream, this was before I got cut off, I had actually showed the new book. Guess what I got? And you missed the beginning of the stream where I actually showed it. Should we show Miss Robin what we showed at the beginning of the book? This is going to look different. That's not supposed to happen. But we mark this. It is pretty. But hold on. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to show Miss Robin what came in. Yes, I bought it, Miss Robin. It's a really cute book. Okay, guys, what shall we work on tomorrow? JBG? See? But when you see how it dries differently. This is going to look different when it dries, but you guys get an understanding that, you know, the thing that I like about Grayscale is that it's a little bit more realistic with skin tone and things like that. You know, everybody has a different way of doing it. I have all of her books, Miss Robin and Shannon. I really like that book. So I really like the pictures in this. And I was going to buy it. And then I saw a bunch of people doing flip throughs. And then I'm like, I have to have this book. I think we might be coloring in JBG tomorrow. And then we'll go back to Kirby because I want to do more things that are fun and have fun with it. So you people watch my collection live stream. You know, I don't have as many books as people think I used to have because I have given away quite a few books, people. So let's keep that in mind. So I don't know what we're working on tomorrow, but I definitely like the way this picture came out today. I think, you know, I like this book a lot. A lot of people, you know, Jasmine Beckett is I think, an acquired taste. Not everybody likes the same things, but I do like this book. So this is what we have colored. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream, and I am off. And I hope whoever's next, I don't remember who's next. I think Michelle, are you coming on again today? Or I know Andrea used to come on, but there's been a few people who haven't been coming on, who were coming on and then didn't come on. So I don't know who's next, guys. So whoever's next, have fun and have a great weekend. I will hopefully see you tomorrow with a new page to color. Happy coloring, everybody.